Update 26, The Old Blood, is live on PC. This video is part 2 of the patch notes that came with the update, and it is focusing on Ember Vauban, the gameplay changes, the gameplay additions, as well as the gameplay fixes. If you want to know about the Kuvalich system, Grendel, arbitration changes, buffs to Titania, check out part 1, it is up on the channel. And as for part 3, that will contain Melee 3.0 Phase 2, that will come out at a later date. Ember has received a reworked kit. Her passive now increases her ability strength by 5% per enemy on fire within 50 meters. The first ability Fireball remains the same, although casts do get stronger the more it is casted. On top of this, the cast time gets reduced and the damage of the ability gets increased based on the new ability Immolation and how much of the meter is charged. The second ability is now Immolation, as just mentioned, and it has replaced Accelerant. It acts as a damage reduction enhancing charge-based ability. A heat meter appears on the right side of the screen and you will need to manage this meter. The higher the meter, the more damage reduction is granted and the higher damage your other abilities will deal. However, if the meter reaches its overheating stage, the ability will start to drain more energy. Immolation's meter can be increased by casting Fireball or the new 4th ability Inferno. The meter does have negative returns as mentioned beforehand, as if you reach the overheat levels, the energy will start to drain faster. To manage the meter's level, you will need to cast Fire Blast, as it will expel heat from the meter, or of course you can just toggle off the ability and turn it back on again for a complete reset. Fire Blast casting time has also been reduced, and the ability now strips armor from nearby enemies, with the armor removal being affected by immolation levels. Lastly, there is Inferno, which has replaced World on Fire as the 4th ability. Inferno, when cast, sends comets flying down onto enemies with a target limit of 10. Upon impact with these enemies, they will be set alight and start burning with rings of fire. If other enemies come in contact with the ring, they will also catch fire. The damage of the heat area effect is also affected by immolation levels. Now, with those changes to Ember's kit, 3 of her augments have changed. Flash Accelerant is now Immolated Radiance, and it allows allies within the affinity range to receive 50% of the immolation's damage reduction. Fire Fright is now Healing Flame, and it makes it so each enemy hit by a Fire Blast heals Ember by 25 to 50 based on the level of the immolation meter. Lastly, Firequake is now Exothermic, where enemies killed while under the effect of Inferno have a 15% chance to drop an energy orb. As for Vauban, who has also seen a rework with the update, Tesla Grenades has been replaced with Tesla Nervos. Upon activation, Vauban sends out a roller that latches onto nearby enemies, electrocuting them. The ability can be held down, and doing so will cast more rollers that have the same function. Mind Layer has remained a kit ability, but has seen its tools changed into Tether Coil, Flechette Orb, Vector Pad, and Overdriver. Tether Coil pulls a number of nearby enemies to wherever it sticks, rendering them immobile. Flechette Orb fires high velocity nails in all directions, inflicting puncture damage to nearby targets. Vector Pad lays down a walk pad that grants a boost of speed in a chosen direction, and Overdriver will latch onto a nearby ally or yourself and increase the damage output. The third ability is now Photon Strike, and when it gets cast and thrown onto the ground, it has a small charge up time before a orbital strike occurs. As for the 4th ability, it is now a combination of Bastille and Vortex. Casting the ability will produce the Bastille that suspends enemies within the field into the air, stripping their armor over time. Players who end up within the Bastille will receive a temporary armor gain based on the amount of units within the ability. Once the Bastille's duration ends, it will convert into a Vortex, which will suck the enemies inward. Players can also activate the Vortex prematurely, or simply cast a Vortex by itself without Bastille by holding down the cast key, although a single cast of Vortex can only occur if there aren't any Bastilles active. Now, just like Ember, Vauban's augments have seen changes. Tesla Bank makes it so any damage dealt to an enemy with a Nervos attached will be absorbed by the Nervos and channeled into a 8-meter burst of electricity upon death. Photon Repeater makes it so if Photon Strike hits at least 5 enemies, the next cast will cost no energy. As for Repelling Bastille, it makes it so enemies within the Bastille will have a 100% chance to be repelled every 4 seconds on top of Vortex duration getting increased by 70% of its maximum duration for each additional Vortex thrown in. It's a combination of the 2 previous augments that were available for each of those abilities. Now, for Conclave players, both Ember and Vauban have been removed from access in the Conclave game mode. Now, as for the general additions, they have added 2 new achievements, those being the Abyss Gazes and That Which Kills You Makes Us Stronger. The Abyss Gazes into you is Create a Kuva Lich, and That Which Kills You Makes Us Stronger is Vanquish a rank 5 Kuva Lich. The Zealoid Prelate boss fight has returned permanently to the game and can be accessed after buying the key blueprint from the market and rebuilding the keys. Its boss node can be found in the Derelict. A new Mastery Rank 28 test has been added for those who can rank up. The Arsenal UI has been updated with new tabs on the left side of the screen for instant access to Arcwings, K-Drives, Conclave loadouts, and the normal Warframe loadouts. Melee weapon stats have also been expanded with this update, with a lot more information in regards to each melee weapon. The health bar for the Zealot Prelate boss fight has been added to all bosses in the game except for Jackal, Vor, Lech Krill, the Raptor, Hyena Pack, Ambulus, and Lephantis. They have also added an infested category to the dojo decoration list, added a tip to the Look Link screen that indicate that sigils are not applied in Look Link. They've added an option to fast travel to the Clan Vault decoration. You can now reset main room decorations in your orbiter, however you will have to type in reset room as confirmation. As for the general changes in this update, the options screen, I-10 treasure screen, and dojo room options UI have been updated to the continued rollout of UI 3.0. The loading screen now puts your set at the forefront in a new formation. The Grenier Galleon tile set has been partially updated with new lighting and textures. The Techo now gains additional status chance when you use Atlas or Atlas Prime. Each Kavat can now get you 3 imprints. You can now enter your dojo from the clan screen when visiting someone else's dojo instead of having to return to your orbiter. You can now double click on a dojo decoration to place it, rather than being required to select a decoration and hit the place decoration button. They've increased the volume of Lure's Rescue Alarm. Pressing enter in the loadout selection while using the search box will now equip the first loadout in the resulting grid. They've increased the Exposing Harpoon mod's duration from 10 seconds to 15 seconds. They've swapped the Kuva Bombard's Crimson, Dervish, and 80 Endo drop to Condition Overload. Allies will no longer attack synthesis targets, thus giving you full control on if you want to scan them. And they have said weapon stats will now be reflected in a slightly more rounded way. Continuing further, innate damage is added before anything on the weapon happens, boosting the weapon's base damage and then renormalizing the damage percentages. This makes elemental mods stack in a way you would expect. They have also moved the tips section in the Arsenal upgrade screen to the button bar at the bottom, increased the additional item drop chance of the Gas City Hidden Rooms amalgam enemies from 2% to 4%. The Riven cycle screen now gives you the option to view the Riven stats on every owned variant of a weapon. For the optimizations, they made some micro-optimizations to affect rendering and fixed a script error when trying to start the Chimera Prologue, Apostasy Prologue, and the Last Gambit quests. For the overall game fixes, they had fixed the following. Vitus Essence dropping in a completely different spot than where you initially destroyed the Arbitration Shield drone, Amalgams not spawning the additional Kavat's Grace, Anti-Grav Array, Gale Kick, and Odometic mods, Elite Sanctuary Onslaught's tileset order changing if a host migration occurs, Client's Riven Challenge progress not being tracked if a host migration occurs, Mace's Peacemakers not firing after holding down fire while rolling with Mace's Bolt equipped, inability to unveil multiple equipped Rivens at once that have similar challenges, cases where each kind of relic wasn't available for a Void Fisher mission. There will now be a Void Fisher mission available for each relic error. They fixed missing gear item descriptions into the gear wheel, corrupted Vor appearing poorly lit when showing up in the void, Misaligned firing for the plinks, the Techo Prime rotating in your hands each time you change the color, the Diva chest armor clipping into Hydroid or Hydroid Prime, removing decorations that you've just placed resulting in the item not stacking in your inventory with the ones you already own, and showing up as I-10 sculptures until you refresh the screen, sometimes seeing rank 61 in the Nightwave tune-in screen, slow loading UI when switching between the Warframe options in the Vorprize quest, Gauss, Korra, and Wukong's custom HUD warping oddly when in a dual-wield mode, some HUD buffs duplicating when the player transfers to their operator and the buff value changes, the navigation alert bar overlapping your UI when viewing your profile, platinum or credit balances when viewing a chat-linked item in the market, an enemy icon flashing very briefly on screen if you skip the introduction cutscene when going to a relay, incorrect mod UI when viewing a Venari mod link, they fixed seeing your Kavat dissolve when viewing a Kavat mod link, an inability to view K-Drive scrolls in the market when you don't own a K-Drive, the ability to walk around in the vehicle arsenal screen, decoration mode scaling incorrectly, they fixed experiencing a hitch when opening the market, an inability to see the katana holster options when the blind justice stance is equipped, the Etheria shoulder plates appearing misaligned on Mirage Prime, the Batacor's charge state effects not always triggering for clients Warframes continuously firing the quads after transferring to the operator, the combat discipline mod killing Warframes that are invincible, the combat discipline mod causing a white screen if your Warframe dies because of it while controlling the operator. They made a potential fix for the inability to move around in decoration mode. They fixed the overlapping UI when viewing a look link when in the arsenal. Kit guns losing sound when dual wielding and using the arsenal. Becoming unarmed and unable to get your weapon back while in Revenant's Dance Macabre. The Wisp motes not keeping their energy color when picked up by a non-Wisp player, words not wrapping in the Venus Junction UI, a case of Atlas's Rumblers not being destroyed upon spamming the ability, Kuva disappearing from the last mission results after closing it and reopening it, paused enemies in the simulacrum sometimes getting stuck in weird animation loops, exiting the custom obstacle course dual room not returning the player to the room, having to restart when using a controller and visiting the mod screen throughout the arsenal during the tutorial. They fixed the invite UI pop-up not changing when the menu scale is changed, operator amp slots showing up in the market before you've completed the second dream quest, changing from a loadout with natural talent equipped to a loadout without natural talent in the simulacrum, not updating your cast speed, running on an angle when attempting to run straight in the Conclave, your Kubrau or Kavat appearance always being config A when loading into the orbiter until you enter the arsenal, an ability to pet your Kubrau or Kavat when using the Shores and emote, Titania's Dex Pixie not being equipped if Razorwing is cast while holding an arc gun, a floating NPC in the Hydroid relay, cases where your Arcwing is invisible during a fly-in cinematic, some pixelation on Volt's chest, players always seeing your operator's clothing config A customization when viewing your profile, Kondrox flying away too early during their takeoff animation, the Cryonicyan Dana clipping with some Warframe stances, the Jotunheim Spirit Oculus not taking both tints, the Milan's Polearm skin not equipping correctly on the side-on or vehicle side-on, certain enemies not maintaining their velocity or movement after you unpause in Captura, losing Ivara's Sleep or Cloak Arrow UI timer when transferring to the operator, an inability to read the full stat list of mod-link weapons due to it having multiple alternate firing modes. Tickers bundles not displaying their prices and being fully grayed out if you own some of the items in the bundles. Names double dipping in the chat member list, a level hole in the Grenier C-Lab tile set, the Staticor's charge shot firing rapidly a large number of times when ammo is fully depleted while using Mirage's Hall of Mirrors, the massive Prime Syandana not sitting properly on Wisp, the Diva chest armor clipping through Chroma or Chroma Prime, the Boltor Bravura skin being overly jittery, the Moa lockers being infinitely hackable. They fixed an inability to fire your moat amp as the operator after switching back and forth in your gear wheel, Piranha Prime's passive not animating correctly, the Graham and Graham Prime having bad animations when equipped with the Mortia Heavy Blade skin. They fixed an inability to see Hunhao during the second dream opening cinematic, an inability to jump after firing the Sapa and falling off of an edge, Mirage's Eclipse damage buff not increasing the damage of Mitre shots and by extension not increasing the damage of slash procs caused by it, cases of client operators transferring back to their Warframe and being unable to use Warframe abilities, missing Spy Vault lasers in the Obvalis, your Kavat taking appearance from a previously equipped Kavat, the Synth Reflex mod not activating without Companion, having 0% accuracy when using the Batacore exclusively, the Foreman's detached barrel lingering for clients after switching weapon, and lastly they fixed enemy ragdolls sometimes going wild for clients when they are killed by Excalibur's Radial Javelin. So that was the general changes, the general additions, Ember and Vauban's rework in Update 26, The Old Blood. This is part 2 of the patch notes. Part 3 will be out at a later date, which will cover the information gathered from Update 26's patch notes in regards to Melee 3.0 Phase 2. So thank you for watching up until this point if you did, and I'll see you guys next time, I guess.